And that's the governor is on his way to Government House, Port Harcourt, to resume duties. The governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, has just landed, and after saying hello to the crowd outside, he's made his way back into his vehicle, and he's on his way to resume duties after 6 months of suspension from the Government House, alongside his deputy. His deputy was also with him.
You can see the faces of Rivers people who are here, how joyous they are, because for the past 6 months, they've not been feeling governance. You know, the governor has a mantra, Rivers people first. And that is what he has tailored in his projects, in his programs, in his activities. So Rivers people feel governance with Sim Fubara, but that was absent for the past 6 months. What I have to say is that the legislative arm of government in Rivers State and the executive arm must work harmoniously together for the development and good governance and well-being of the people. That is the only way we can strive. I also want to use this opportunity to thank the FCT Minister and the Governor of Rivers State for towing that part of peace and sustainable development and growth. We are one Rivers people. There's no division. So there's no need for the political rancor to disrupt governance. The Governor swore an oath to serve and protect the lives and property of Rivers people and provide welfare for them. And that's what he has been doing. I know he's going to go back to all his lofty people-oriented projects, and that is what we want, and that's why we are happy.
The governor we chose is the governor we are loyal to, is the governor that Rivers people yearn for, and that governor has returned back to the office today to administer our people. This is a governor that understands how we feel. My people say, best way know when they bury that body, when he comes to assume the crops, he will start from the leg because he doesn't know where the head is. So this governor is part and parcel of us. So he knows our pains, he feels our pains. So his absence, our people have been mourning, our people have been sorrowful. So today you can see it's all over the entire River State is joyous, from the communities to the city center. Everywhere is joyous. Our people are joyous and celebrating. So this is what you are seeing. What you are seeing is a reflection of the mood of our people, the mood of River State. River State is joyous, River State is happy, and our people are happy for the return of the governor, His Excellency Amo Pusenibor Siminalayi Joseph Fubara, KSC, Grand Service Star of River State, back to Government House as governor, and for him to continue to administer our state for the glory of the Almighty and for the betterment and well-being of our people.
We are overwhelmed by joy that our governor is back to govern us. It's an expression to tell you how much Rivers people have missed their dear governor, and also that we have high expectations of him. We know how much passionate he is about the development of Rivers State, and he showed that before the suspension came. And it is our expectation that now that the suspension is over, that he will continue the good works that he commenced, and of course take it to a higher level than what he did previously. And the other two is that we know our governor as a peace-loving person, and we have confidence in him that now that he has come back, that all the political stakeholders will come together and work in one accord for the good of Rivers State, both the House of Assembly, those in the National Assembly, and those who are holding offices at the center. We'll be expecting the governor to continue the good works that he was doing before the suspension. The other expectation is that, as he has told those of us who are Rivers people and those living and doing business here, that there is no amount of sacrifice that is too much for peace. We're expecting to pursue that part of peace that he has always lived for. And also, like I said previously, a message to other stakeholders. They should come and work together with the governor to make this state a better place. We are not maintaining our pride of place in the Committee of States in Nigeria because of political disagreements here and there. So I expect the governor to put that behind him. Of course, we have lost 6 months. We can't regain it, but We trust that our governor would catch up with whatever we have lost in the past 6 months.
Mr. President has actually done the needful, we yearn for, that Rivers State return back to the democratic system. And all through yesterday when the news broke out in Rivers State, the joy took over everywhere. Everybody was in intense spirit, in high spirits to ensure that we receive our governor. It's a welcome development in Rivers State. We have suffered for about 6 months and have driven back Rivers State backward to about 20 years backward. But we are very optimistic that the governor of Rivers State, Dr. Siminalayi Fubara, with his pro-wins, will immediately move Rivers State to the next level.
We never believed it. It caught us by surprise. Our expectations are very high. His Excellency Siminalayi Fubara understands the problem of Rivers people, and he was on the right track. Because within 2 years in office, he has flagged off, commissioned a lot of projects, and some are running. He's a man that knows the problem of Rivers people. There will be no story, because Rivers people are looking up to him. Well, like I will say, even in a family, there will be crisis. At the time we come for a resolution, we have settled our problems. So moving forward is that His Excellency, who knows the problem of Rivers people, who has organic support from Rivers State, who knows that Rivers supports him, and we don't hear any other story other than development and empowering of Rivers citizens. We know that as soon as he resumes office today, that he can start the process. We are happy. That's the most important thing. And let me extend my felicitation to His Excellency the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for hearkening to the cry of Rivers people, for allowing us go back to the man we all elected. This is a man for the first time in the history of Rivers State that won the 23 over 23 local government. It has never happened. No governor has done that. Highest they will get is 13 or 14 local governments, but he had 15 and 23 to tell you that the people believes in him. And that's why you can see this is local government people. We came here on our own to celebrate. Celebrations are on even in our various local government because everybody can come here. We are happy. We are happy with His Excellency. We are happy with Rivers State, and we believe that Rivers State will be better again. Even though I will tell you that we have gone back 20 years behind schedule, but no problem. That's what man sees in life. There will be a time you suffer some hurdles, but we have overcome it, and by the grace of God, Rivers will come back and strong again.
The Bible we all practice and believe as Christians have told us that it's time and season for everything. Okay, this is season for happiness, this is season for joy because democracy has returned back to Rivers State.
So what are your expectations as we are waiting the arrival of the governor of Rivers State in another 1 year and 8 months of thereabouts?
Well, I knowing the governor for who he is, I'm sure he won't be distracted. He's going to hit the ground running. Remember, he has been doing a lot of good job for Rivers people before the interruption of emergency rule. So I have no doubt that he's focused, he's determined, and he knows what he wants to do, what he's supposed to do.
What kind of support will you be looking for from Rivers people?
It's organic. The support is organic. It has always been organic. It will remain organic. Well, I don't know, with the mammoth crowd I'm seeing here, I don't know if you have taken a look to know if they are not here. But I'm not their representative, so I cannot speak for them. But the important thing is that the crowd you're seeing here is what Leighton Azikiwe will describe as sea of heads. So it's difficult for you to identify who is not here today and who is here today.
We have turned out to do to welcome our governor and restoration of democratic institutions in Rivers State. River people are happy. We are happy that our governor is back to continue his good work.
Believe me, in Rivers State, politics has never been ordinary. But what just played out is nothing short of a political drama that reads like a tragic novel. Once upon a time, there was a godfather and his choosing godson. Nyesom Wike, a powerful figure in Rivers politics, carefully picked Fubara, installed him as a governor, and expected loyalty in return. But loyalty in Nigerian politics often means much more than respect. It means, as always, deals, sharing, and keeping certain unspoken agreements alive. Soon after the inauguration, cracks began to show, the drama that cost a lot for Rivers people. Fubara resisted being the puppet many thought he would be. Rumors spread that their quarrel was over money, specifically whether the governor would continue handing over a share of state resources. Fubara refused to play along, and that decision set off a war that consumed the whole of Rivers. What started as a whisper becomes open hostility. The Rivers House of Assembly split into factions. Local government elections conducted by Fubara were annulled by the Supreme Court, and pipelines across the Niger Delta were certainly under threat. Security concerns were so real, but so were the political calculations. Then came the President Tinubu, who drastically, 6 months state of emergency, suspending the elected governor, the democratic elected governor, and lawmakers, and installing a sole administrator, a navy chief. For 6 long months, democracy in Rivers was effectively put in a coma. Ministries were reshuffled, contracts were suspended, local government handed over to appointed administrators, billions of naira were allocated for CCTV cameras, gunboats, and contingency spending, while citizens asked, who was checking the books? Who was keeping receipts? The people of Rivers were silenced while political elites played games with their future. Opposition leaders who should have raised their voices, especially within the PDP, instead went quiet, leaving Fubara alone and powerless against his own godfather's shadow. Meanwhile, the judiciary's role only deepened suspicion. The Supreme Court judgment became lightning rods of controversy, with many citizens concluding that the court had been sold to the highest bidder. The Nigerian Constitution, once thought to be the safeguard for democracy, seemed to matter little when those at the top were determined to bend it. Now, the emergency rule has been lifted, Fubara has been reinstated, lawmakers record, and the story is being told as though democracy has returned. Wike smiling, from his federal seat of power, openly boasting of how influential he is, satisfied with the fact that his will has prevailed. Then Fubara, he walks back into government house, but not as the same man who once defied his godfather. His silence tells its own story, a story of compromise, of survival, perhaps even of defeat. Question is this: what future does Fubara have? Can a man who once resisted survive long enough to dream of a second term? When the very person who installed him may feel betrayed, can he, win back the trust of Rivers youth who now watch from the sidelines in disillusionment? Or has Rivers already been chained, its resources hijacked, its opposition buried, its democracy, of course, has been murdered in broad daylight? Now, the saddest part is that this crisis is not just about Rivers. It exposes the rottenness of Nigeria's political system, where elections are rigged, godfathers determine outcomes, and the constitution bans to serve those at the top. Wike may not be the only villain here. He is simply playing the game that the system itself allows. But what a deadly game it is, one in which an entire people suffer. Today, Rivers stands at a crossroad. Fubara must now prove he is more than a pawn. He must face the ghost of the last 6 months, demand an audit of the state's finances, rebuild trust with the people, and build the courage to lead without the shackles of his own godfather. Because if he doesn't, the Rivers story will not be one of recovery, but of a democracy that died quietly while nation hooked away. And as a Nigerian, we must ask, if this happens in Rivers, what state next? Now, let's not stop there, because the story of Rivers after the emergency is just beginning. If you peel back the layers, you see the dangerous precedents now written into Nigeria's political playbook. First, the president has, tested what it means to suspend a governor and replace him with a sole administrator. That's not just about Rivers, it's about power. Tomorrow, if another state falls into crisis or anything that looks like that, the template is there. Whether it's Anambra, Kaduna, or Delta can now step in and silence elected officials, all under excuse of restoring order. And when that happens, democracy becomes a privilege granted by the presidency, not a right secured by the people. That is why critics say Tinubu played God in reverse. Secondly, the judiciary. Nigerians used to say, go to court. But what happens when the courts themselves appear compromised? The Supreme Court annulled elections conducted by Fubara, but when the sole administrator appointed his own men without elections, the silence was deafening. What kind of justice is that? What kind of legal system validates dictatorship while punishing democracy? And believe me, this tells us one thing: justice in Nigeria is no longer blind. It sees and it chooses sides, and that choice has pushed Nigeria into the wrong path. Third, let's talk about accountability. During the emergency rule, billions moved through Rivers Treasury. As an oil-producing state, a lot of things comes in. A lot of projects were announced, security budgets inflated, contracts awarded without scrutiny. Who checked those accounts? Who will publish the balance before and after? If Fubara is serious about redemption, his first task must be to order a full audit of those 6 months. Otherwise, it will remain a black hole where the wealth of Rivers people disappeared. Now, where does that leave Fubara himself? The truth is, he is concerned. He may smile in public, but behind closed doors, he knows he owns his return, not to the constitution, not to the people of Rivers, but to the deal brokered by men who see politics as business. Can such a man dream of a second time when his godfather feel betrayed? Wike smuggled him into office, whether anyone likes it or not. This is the obvious truth. He expected him to play ball. He expected him to play to the gallery. And when Fubara resisted, he paid the price. Now, unless he completely bends, his political future hangs by a thread. The dead PDP leaders, instead of rallying behind one of their own, went silent. The obvious silence. They allowed the Rivers to be hijacked without resistance. They surrounded the battlefield, and in doing so, they buried any chance of holding the center accountable. The opposition is very dead, not because the people didn't care, but because their leaders lacked courage. But perhaps the loudest silence came from the Rivers youth. Where are they? Why did they not rise? Maybe they have seen this movie too many times. Politicians fight, share money, reconcile, and the people remain poor. Or maybe they are simply tired, broken by unemployment, insecurity, and hopelessness. Yet history teaches us this. Youth may be quiet today, but silence can turn to fire when pushed too far. And this, I believe, was too far. So, what is the final lesson for this story? It's not that democracy was suspended. To me, it's not as if that the democracy was suspended in Rivers. It is that the democracy was murdered, cut open, and displayed to the whole country, in public, to the world, and nobody was punished. Wike walks tall, Tinubu flex his power, the judiciary hides behind its robes, and Fubara bows his head. The only losers are the people, whose wealth was looted, whose voices were silenced, and whose future was traded for political survival. Rivers State stands as a warning to Nigeria. When politicians play God, the people become pounds. The question is, how long will the pounds remain silent? Now, talking about the latest Wike's brag, because that is what I call it. It's not actually an interview. In summary of what he said on Channels Television. First, Wike declared that he has made peace with Governor Fubara. He stressed that talk about Fubara's second time is premature. Now, here's the summary of where he picked and what I think are the implications. Wike is signaling a public reconciliation, which might not be, entirely true. Dismissing second term talk for now, Wike keeps himself flexible. Now, this is going to be dependent on how Fubara behaves. His insistence on non-interference in Rivers' cabinet shows he is trying to reduce tension and allow Fubara more visible autonomy, or at least the appearance of it. Wike's emphasis on governance over power contest signals that he wants people to judge Fubara by what he does now, not by speculations about 2027. It's a way to redirect public expectations and possible reduce immediate conflict. What do you think? Is this truly democracy or just politics dressed in another name? Or my final submission, the River story is more than just about Wike, Fubara, or the emergency rule. It's about the soul of our democracy. It forces us to ask hard questions. When politicians play God with power, when the constitution is bent at will, and when the judiciary becomes a pawn, when opposition leaders fall silent, who truly speaks for the people? It is a hard question. Rivers State today reflects the larger Nigerian story. A democracy weakened, not just because people don't believe in it, but because those entrusted with it treat it as a bargaining chips. Yet, even in the midst of this political theater, the people, especially the youths, remain the most important voice. If they stay silent, democracy will continue to be murdered in plain sight. This is about perspectives. If you've gained something from this deep dive, please like this video, leave us a comment, because democracy is best ascribed by individual perception. Share this video so the conversation spreads, and of course, subscribe for more in-depth analysis on politics and the realities shaping our nation. Democracy is only as strong as those who defend it. The question is, will we defend it? Until next time, stay watchful, stay reflective, and stay engaged. And of course, thank you for watching.
like you are dismissing the terms of settlement that is public knowledge and is in the news.
Tell me, no, if you tell me that, I will tell you, okay, you are right, you are not right. Something I don't know, you tell me. What are those terms of settlement?
I mentioned the issue of the local government.
But what happened?
And you have said that you both start,
what's the issue of local government?
That the outcome of the local government election were so much about those who are on Governor Wike's side.
No, it's not true.
And
no, it's not true. Anybody that is working with the governor, working with me, with all due respect, I have told you that there was not decision that was taken. That the governor was not. You see, what they expected the governor to do, to come and begin to shout, gentlemen, you know, you do. No.
Didn't you agree that Governor Fubara was going to run for one term?
Who agreed?
I thought you agreed to that.
You don't telling me here.
It's in the public domain.
But you are telling me for the first time.
So you didn't agree to it?
I don't know what you're talking about. All I have told you here is that, look, we agreed that there should be democratic government, at least at the local government level. And that has been done. Having satisfied that, then we move to the next thing. You don't try to, make somebody to say, oh, you agree. I know what people are looking for.
What about the composition of to the state cabinet? The agreement?
Purely to the governor. Purely to the governor.
No input from you?
I cannot go and impose anything on the governor. Why would I impose anything on the governor? Okay, I assuming I go to the governor, I want this. He said no. So did the state to collapse?
You say you're not going to suggest to him commissioners in that cabinet?
I will not.
You don't have any candidate?
I have no candidate and I will not. Even if the governor comes to me now, I say, look, we have agreed we are going to work together, which is natural. I said, there's no way you tell me not. I say, look, I give a free hand. You know what you want for the state. All I will want to say, I know what I did and what I've done to keep this state to this level. Don't drop it. Move ahead. As I speak to you, I left the state to where we can compete favorably with Lagos. And I challenge anybody. And that has been my own intention.